There you go. Mike's my guy. Where's Mike? I don't even see him. Look, excited to get back out here. The guys are working hard. I know a lot of times, everyone wants to see everyone get better every day, but remember, it's just not a straight shot to being a good football team. It's a process, which we have been preaching for a long time. One thing I will say is, and this has been, historically, the defense will always be ahead of the offense. The defense will always be ahead of the offense. Now, the offense, obviously, they're still gelling together, and we have a lot of guys on defense that already know the scheme. So, it's hard to jump to conclusions. Are these guys going to be good? Are they bad? Like, I don't know, and I don't think you guys know either. I don't even think, the coaches out there know. But one thing I will say, it's about competition, and it's about getting better each and every day, not only on the field, but also off the field.
As you were walking up, Field DH just tweeted out that the team and Jabrill Peppers are finalizing a 3-year extension. Just wanted to see if you could confirm that for us.
Yeah. I can't confirm it. I'm the head coach. I can confirm it. All right. So, hey, I will say this. I'll confirm it, but I am very happy, for Peppers and for his family and also for our team and organization. He really embodies everything that we want on the field. He's very selfless. He's out there flying around all the time, and it's good to get that deal done.
How much side of that is passion, Jerod?
Say
How much do you enjoy his passion?
I love it. I will be honest with you. When he first got here, it was a little bit much for me. A little bit much for me, but I do appreciate it. He brings that passion, he brings that energy each and every day, and he's one of our best communicators on defense, along with Doug. And I feel very good about that safety room as a whole.
On the flip side of that, there was a incident, not an incident, but Matthew Judon was with us the other day, and he expressed a level of dissatisfaction with the contract. I know you've addressed it earlier in camp, but do you have anything new to add in the wake of what he said?
Look, we're still kind of working through that stuff. Judon's a huge piece of the puzzle. He's another guy who, he brings leadership. He brings, obviously, the playmaking ability, but also just that energy of wanting to go out there and dominate the man across from him. So, hopefully we get something done. He understands the business side of it as well, and hopefully he understands that we really like him. We really like him as a player and as a person and want him here.
Gacho participated in day one yesterday. We didn't see him until midway through. Came up from the backfield, didn't seem to do anything. Is that contract related?
No, not at all. Not at all. It has nothing to do with the contract. He had a little bit of tightness, but he's another guy who, you want to reward the players that embody or encompass what we're trying to create here from a cultural perspective. And also, at the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses, and he helps with that.
I wanted to ask you about Drake. There's a couple times during practice and team 7-on-7 where he takes off running, and it seems like a quick decision. Do you like that, or would you prefer him to stand in there, even if it's going to be like an air sack, and just go through your reads and make a throw?
Yeah, look, all those guys are taught and told to continue with the play. When you look at the good offenses, take KC, for example, they have what's on the piece of paper, but a lot of that stuff is just improvisation on the field. And so being able to continue that play, you never know what's going to happen. You could have a free runner, he misses the sack, and now everyone has to get to a spot where you can find him. It's not just Drake. I would say that entire quarterback room, they operate under the same rules.
Jerod, given what you said before about the offense, how do you feel where they're at, just coming back from the summer and picking up where you tried to leave?
I feel good. I feel good about it. Obviously Jacoby leading the way there at quarterback. He's been in the scheme before, and he's really displayed a lot of leadership, not only in the quarterback room, but also just amongst the entire offense, because he is familiar with the scheme. But I'm happy where they are. They're out here. They're working hard, and that's really all you can ask for. And the progress will continue to go.
Just to follow up on Mike's question, I know we're a long way from any competitive games where contact's involved in any of that, but will you encourage Drake to run? How do you feel about that as a head coach, where a guy who's playing the most important position on the field might be putting himself in harm's way, but it is one of his strengths? So
that's right.
How do you feel about that?
To me, especially now early in training camp, it's really about the progressions, right? Your reads, you read left to right, or you read the single, those are the most important things. With that being said, as we continue to go, all right, take off and let those guys kind of freestyle. And, there are offenses, like I said earlier, that it's very tough for a defense when you're trying to, anticipate the route concept or the offensive concept, but then all of a sudden the quarterback's outside the pocket. And so those are things that will happen down the line. Oh, ladies first. Ladies first? No.
Mario Douglas hasn't been participating in team activities. Can you just provide a little detail on why that is and kind of what's that timeline?
He's kind of working through something right now, but nothing serious. So, day to day. All right.
Sticking with the same rotation for quarterbacks for now, and divvying up of reps?
Yeah, sticking with the same rotation. I think all those guys are getting, good reps, but at the same time, I would say it's about the quality of the reps, not the actual count. I'll let you guys count the reps.
Why were we seeing Joe
Milton taking reps before Bailey Zappi yesterday. Is that part of that?
Yeah.
Is that going to continue, I guess?
Yeah, look, that will, I won't say it will continue. Sometimes, maybe you have Joe get more reps, maybe you have Zappi get more reps. The one person I would say is going to get a lot of reps is, obviously Jacoby knows the offense, but Drake is going to have an opportunity to go out there and compete. Look, all four of those quarterbacks do have a skill set that we like. We'll just see how it plays out.
The players have talked a little bit about the rotation. Every day is going to be different on that offensive line. Kind of what you're looking for there, and what's that progression going to be like in your mind as you go forward?
Yeah, I'll just say this with the offensive line, that the best five, right, the best five will play. Now, I'm not going to get into who's playing guard, who's playing tackle, but as we continue to go, throughout training camp and start to put on the pads, we're going to put the best five out there.
You have a players' lounge in there, pool table, some games. Obviously, you came up in an environment when you're here to work and work only. What was the reasoning behind that change for you?
To me, look, this is their place, and that's their lounge, and that's their locker room. I think it's important that you have those spaces. One thing I've noticed over the past, let's say, 5 years is a lot of times when guys get a break, they just go into their locker and they get on their phone, they're scrolling through social media, and there's really no interaction. And I thought it was important, I should say, we thought it was important that those guys had a safe space to go. And really, that's also a time where they build camaraderie. You should see some of the ping pong games in there, or some of the, even the PlayStation. We have a PlayStation, Xbox in there as well. But it's really to bring these guys closer together and have those guys want to be here. These days can be long, but we just thought it would be important for those guys to have that space. I don't know, because just like I told you, that's the player space, and I'm a coach, so I don't go in there. I don't go in there. But Goskowski used to be a great ping pong player. Nah. We work.
Jerod, before training camp, a couple weeks before, I think a bunch of receivers and some quarterbacks got together on their own to throw. Did you know that they were going to do that in their off time?
Yeah, I don't know. They put it together. They, obviously, they want to get those extra reps in to make sure everyone's on the same page. And as they continue to learn and grow throughout the playbook, let me say, then their real true athleticism can start to show. And those reps are important. Once again, I'll go back to what I say every day is the reps out here are one thing, but there are also the mental reps in the classroom, and there are also those walk-through reps that you spoke about.
You like to see them having that sort of
I love to hear it.
I
I just learned that from you, so I love to hear it.
Did you pay attention to the Madden ratings when you were a player? What was your highest, do you remember?
I think my highest was like a 91 or something like that. I was in the 90s. I always bust these guys, it's like, oh, man, they get so upset when Madden gives them like an 82 or something like that. It's fun, though, because really we all grew up wanting to be on that game. And, we became huge fans of other teams by playing the game. You always want to get the best team. So, I think it's fun, and I think Madden and EA Sports, they understand, and they're kind of capitalizing on it a little bit.
I'm curious, just because obviously first time in this role, when you have something like what's going on with Judon here, and he's here talking to us for almost 10 minutes the other day about his contract, do you worry at all about his concerns or his disgruntled nature, if that's a way to describe it right now, might impact others on the team?
We have a great relationship, but I hate that you use the word disgruntled, because I would say he's out here working every day. His attitude is great in the classroom. His attitude is great on the field, and you guys see him flying around here. Obviously, there is a business component to this sport, and he understands that. We want him here. He's a very good player for us, and he does everything that we want him to do. So hopefully it works out.
Is it undermining at all to people in leadership positions, whether it's you or Elliott, to be talking about it in that way at this point?
Sorry, say that again?
Does it undermine anyone's authority? For both you and Elliott are in new positions right now, and he seems to be very open to that. We're just not used to that.
No, look, I'm good with it. I don't want to put a cap on, if the guy feels a certain type of way, he has that privilege to come out here and tell you guys how he feels. I have to respect it no matter what. At some point in time, there's going to be a player that comes up here and says, you know what, I hate Coach Jerod, or I hate Mayo. And look, that's how they feel, and I respect that. And, I know we want to keep as much stuff, in-house, but there will be times where they come out here and express themselves, and I think it's good. Look, they listen to the interview here, and I listen to their interviews as well. Like, I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to the players, really, and that's how I think about it. So, as the season continues to progress, I want the relationship with the media, from the coach's perspective and also from the player's perspective, to be a good relationship. And I'm not saying to write all the positive articles. You write your opinion. That's what you're paid for.
jealous or envious seeing some of the other players on the team getting new contracts. Were you guys cognizant of that during the offseason when deciding who to pay and how it would play in the locker room?
You know, honestly, he's entitled to feel that way. And once again, we always talk about checking the ego at the door and things like that, but they wouldn't even be here without some type of ego. And so I understand where he's coming from there. At the same time, we're going to do what's best for the organization and really what's best for the players, too. Yep, ladies first.
We saw Marcus Jones and Christian Gonzalez kind of taking some reps during wide receiver drills yesterday. Is that like a plan going into the season? Like, what's the thought process there?
It's too early to tell right now. What I will say is, the fundamental of catching the ball, whether you play offense or defense, is something that those guys will continuously work on.
Coach, when it comes to the offensive line, players have just harped on consistency and chemistry, being next to the same guys. So how do you balance as a coaching staff wanting guys to be comfortable with who they're next to, with also the competition, especially we've seen a right tackle and wanting new guys out?
Yeah, as we continue to progress through camp, obviously we'll start to now see how it kind of takes shape. At this given time, though, I would say, those guys are willing to swing to any side that we ask them, knowing that we're going to put the best 5 out there, and that's part of the competition.
Going back to Jabrill, we saw him playing a lot more free safety last year. How do you think that went, and do you think that can improve moving forward now?
Look, honestly, when I look at our safety room, I see a room that is full of playmakers, a room that, there are some similarities as far as skill set, but there are also things that each one does just a little bit better than the other. We always talk about versatility and being able to move to different spots, whether it's strong safety or free safety, whatever you want to call it. I think that entire room can do pretty much both of those. Uche's very important. Look, he's one of those guys that, if he gets a one-on-one pass rush, he's probably going to win. And it's our job as coaches to put him in a position to go out there and make those plays. Appreciate you guys.